I'll see how damaged it is.
Them bony black ankles got snapped, eh?
Well, they tried to snap it, didn't get there though.
Under control.
Under control. My name is James Saunders. I forgot what I said before. My name's James Saunders. My mob are the Gunditjmara and Wiradjuri people. I moved to Sydney about 8 years ago and I stayed in Waterloo, Alexandria. Born into a family of 9 children. I'm the 6th of mum's 9. I was born down in Pambula on the south coast. We'd come up from Victoria and at about the age of 4, as I was 4 turning 5, we moved to Queensland. I grew up around Runcorn in South Brisbane. I came down to see what the famous Redfern was like. I felt like it was the political heartland of the nation. I felt like the birthplace of activism in a lot of ways is in Redfern, you know, and then there's people from all different mobs in the one suburb or one area. A lot of people that are here are connected to a community or to country, but we're here in the city trying to achieve really big things and working towards something, whether it's personal goals or as a collective. This is my own little acronym, YPBs, Young Professional Blacks. There's a growing number of them in Sydney, I've noticed. I try to link up with them. I started a little networking group to meet up once a month, and that was for us just to talk about our hopes and dreams. And that way we can get to know each other. I came down with nothing and I didn't know anybody, and I just networked the city. I just introduced people and I spoke to them honestly about what I wanted and who I was. There was times when I didn't eat and I didn't have money to pay my bills and my rent, and I had to struggle. Dad left us at I was 7 years old, so we were living in Runcorn, and he took off back to country Victoria, back to home, and so contact faded. I think I missed the connection that he gave me to my Gunditjmara family. I think I missed that connection and the knowledge he had. I missed the culture and the way he spoke and the things he knew. A lot of the men that were in my life, through my father and his brothers and my older cousins and that, they're men who were dispossessed, and they were men who were downtrodden. And I didn't like seeing them like that, because these are proud, amazing men with, you know, lots of talent and lots of skills, but they weren't in their own life. They were always living on that, you know, somebody else's help or assistance, and I didn't want that. I wanted independence. I wanted freedom. I couldn't talk to people about my problems. I couldn't talk to people and tell them why I was stressed out and why I was feeling bad. And, you know, being closeted was another thing that just compounded everything, because I couldn't be myself. I had to be James, the rugby player, the basketball player, the volleyballer, the guy that everyone looked up to, and, you know, the proud Aboriginal bloke. I took a lot of my aggression out on the rugby field. I used to just wow guys. I used to just run in and smash them. And look, the rugby coaches loved it, the teammates loved it, the boarding school loved it, but it was a way of dealing with it, and it still is a way of dealing with it now as an adult. Rugby allows me to take out the things that I can't, you know, in other ways. The Sydney convicts, yeah, they're a big part of my life. I met them in 2005. I was a young gay boy in Brisbane. I'd only just come out to my family, and when I found out there was a gay rugby team and they're based here in Sydney, it changed everything for me, because I never thought I'd play that sport again when I came out. I actively seeked out the convicts, and now I've been there 8 years, so I'm one of their senior players. I had many dreams, but I had one main dream, and that was to when I was to get to being a man, that I would be able to own my own life. I currently am self-employed. I work for myself with my own digital agency. What my business name is Mopoke Media. It's digital PR. It's engaging with social media and website management to help businesses and organisations better target their audiences. I was always really annoyed at the way that blackfellas were portrayed in the mainstream newspapers, and I'd read them and get really irate, and I thought, why don't you actually do something about that? Why don't you get into the media and change the perceptions and talk about the positive things? And that's when I thought I wanted to start getting into media and comms and journalism and try and move in that sphere. The significance of the place we're at today is my grandfather's country. So it's Kilcare country of the Gunditjmara Nation. This place means a lot to me. It means, I don't know, coming home. It's always just, it's home. Family's here. My ancestors' spirits are here. It's where I feel safe. I feel at ease. This is like when my auntie and I come for healing. We come and spend time here and just look at the ocean. There is the story of Budjabim, which I personally can't retell myself because it's part of another family's creation story. But Budjabim exploded. He blew his top thousands of years ago. It's a long time. It's a long, but blackfellas, Gunditjmara people would have been there. They would have witnessed that. They would have seen this, and then they've seen the landscape change. And that lava flow comes down to the blowholes, and that changed that country. Magical things happen on country. Magic happens here all the time. When you come home, magic things happen. And every time I come home and I go on that road from Melbourne, there's an inland road that Dad used to take us back to southwest Victoria. It's a feeling you can't describe. It's this, the smell, the air, the landscape, everything just, it feels, yeah, it's unreal. It is important for Aboriginal people to connect to country. It's where we find our strength. It's where we can revitalise ourselves. So we can go back to the cities and the towns and do what we need to do with energy and vitality.